The tradition of the 27 Buddhas of the past is one of the most fascinating and ancient teachings preserved in Theravada Buddhism. According to the Pali chronicles and commentarial literature, especially the Buddhavamsa, our historical Buddha, Gautama Buddha, was not the first Buddha to appear in the world. Before him came 27 fully enlightened Buddhas who discovered the same timeless truth, taught the path to liberation, and then passed away. The idea of many Buddhas appearing across vast cycles of time reveals a central Buddhist insight: truth is not created by any one person. Each Buddha rediscovers the Dharma after it has disappeared from the world, like a traveler finding an ancient path hidden beneath centuries of dust. Among these past Buddhas, the most important for Buddhist tradition is Pakra Buddha. Long before Gautama Buddha was born as Siddhartha, he existed as a spiritual seeker named Sumeda. When Pakra Buddha visited Sumeda's city, Sumeda laid his own body across the muddy road so the Buddha could pass without stepping into the mud. Pakra then made a profound prediction: in a future age, this devoted ascetic would become the Buddha known as Gautama. This moment is considered the beginning of the Bodhisattva path of our Buddha and is one of the most beloved stories in Buddhist literature. The 27 Buddhas preceding Gautama are traditionally listed as Tahakara, Madhakara, Sarakara, Pakara, Koa, Magala, Sumana, Revata, Sabita, Anomadasi, Paduma, Narada, Pajamuttara, Sumedha, Sujata, Payadasi, Athadasi, Tamadasi, Siddhartha, Tissa, Fussa, Vipassi, Siki, Vesabu, Kakusanda, Kagamana, and Kassapa Buddha. After these 27 came Gautama Buddha, the 28th Buddha of the present Great Aeon according to Theravada tradition. These names may sound unfamiliar to many modern listeners, yet each Buddha is said to have possessed the same qualities of perfect wisdom, compassion, and liberation. Their lifespans, physical size, and the duration of their teachings varied greatly because they appeared in different cosmic ages. Some lived for tens of thousands of years, while others appeared closer to the present era. Buddhist cosmology describes unimaginably vast stretches of time called kalpas, during which civilizations rise and fall, worlds form and dissolve, and Buddhas occasionally appear to rediscover the lost Dharma. One striking feature of the tradition is the enormous scale associated with the earliest Buddhas. Tahakara, Madhakara, and Sarakara are said to have appeared in remote ages so distant that ordinary human calculation cannot comprehend them. Their inclusion emphasizes that the path to Buddhahood extends far beyond a single lifetime or even a single world cycle. Buddhism presents enlightenment not as a recent historical invention but as a timeless realization repeatedly uncovered by awakened beings. The 7 most recent Buddhas hold a special place in Buddhist art and ritual. These are Vipassi, Siki, Vesabu, Kakusanda, Kagamana, Kassapa, and Gautama. Temples throughout Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia often depict these 7 Buddhas together. They are regarded as the Buddhas of the current Fortunate Aeon, an era in which multiple Buddhas appear. Among them, Kassapa Buddha is especially significant because he immediately preceded Gautama Buddha. Buddhist texts describe relics, monasteries, and disciples connected with Kassapa's dispensation that still existed in some form during the early life of Gautama. Why does Buddhism preserve such a long list of past Buddhas? The answer is not merely historical curiosity. The tradition serves several spiritual purposes. First, it inspires confidence that awakening is possible. If countless beings have attained Buddhahood before, then enlightenment is not a myth or a unique miracle reserved for one individual. Second, it demonstrates the continuity of the Dharma across cosmic time. Third, it highlights the immense dedication required on the Bodhisattva path. Gautama Buddha is said to have cultivated virtues for innumerable lifetimes before fulfilling Pakra's prediction. Each Buddha also symbolizes a different expression of awakened wisdom. While the core teaching remains the same, their lives illustrate various aspects of compassion, renunciation, patience, and skillful teaching. Buddhist commentators often describe how disciples of one Buddha accumulated merit and spiritual development that eventually led them to encounter later Buddhas, including Gautama. In this way, the history of the Buddhas becomes a vast spiritual lineage connecting beings across countless ages. For a YouTube audience, one of the most powerful insights is that the story of the 27 past Buddhas challenges our ordinary sense of time. Modern people often think in terms of decades or centuries, but Buddhist cosmology invites us to contemplate millions upon millions of years. The appearance of a Buddha is described as extraordinarily rare. The Dharma may disappear from the world for immense periods before another Buddha arises. This rarity makes the present opportunity to encounter Buddhist teachings especially precious. Another fascinating detail is that every Buddha possesses certain marks and qualities, yet their historical circumstances differ. Some taught in ages when humans lived far longer than today. Others appeared when society had become morally degraded. The Dharma always adapts to the conditions of the world while preserving its essential aim, the ending of suffering. This idea resonates strongly with contemporary viewers who wonder whether ancient wisdom can still apply to modern life. The tradition of many Buddhas suggests that truth can be rediscovered and expressed in different eras without losing its essence, according to the Buddhavamsa, the future Buddha, Maitreya, known in Sanskrit as Maitreya, will appear after the teachings of Gautama Buddha have vanished from the world. This means the lineage of Buddhas does not end with the present age. Just as Gautama followed the 27 Buddhas before him, another Buddha will one day arise to rediscover the forgotten path. The cycle of awakening continues. When we look at the complete list of the 27 past Buddhas, we see more than a sequence of names. We see a grand vision of human potential stretching across immeasurable time. The message is not that we should memorize every name or every legendary detail. The deeper message is that wisdom can emerge again and again, even after darkness and forgetting. Every Buddha begins as a seeker, encounters suffering, searches for truth, and ultimately discovers liberation through direct insight. For Buddhists, reflecting on the past Buddhas is a way of cultivating faith, humility, and determination. Faith, because enlightenment has been achieved before. Humility, because the path is vast and profound. Determination, because the example of the Bodhisattvas shows that persistent effort over many lifetimes can lead to complete awakening. Whether one interprets the stories literally, symbolically, or somewhere in between, the tradition of the 27 Buddhas of the past remains one of the most inspiring and expansive teachings in Buddhist culture. Imagine standing before Pakra Buddha as Sumeda once did. The road is muddy, the crowd is silent, and an awakened being walks toward you. In that moment, the future Buddha has not yet become Gautama. He is simply a seeker willing to give everything for truth. The tradition of the 27 past Buddhas reminds us that every Buddha was once a seeker, every awakening began with a single aspiration, and the path to liberation stretches across time far beyond anything the ordinary mind can easily imagine.